Have you ever said to yourself, that's it, no more drinking, I'm done? But then you find yourself laid up on the sofa Sunday afternoon, riddled with a hangover. I know I have, and I know you have too. Today, I'm going to show you exactly where you're going wrong, but we're going to do things a little bit differently today. So, I'm going to show you frequently asked questions from friends and clients about quitting drinking. These are real questions and real stories that come up in conversations when people aren't pretending. Now, don't worry, I'm going to keep everyone's identity safe. So, if you are having a struggle, don't be afraid to reach out to me because everything is confidential. By the way, guys, I have a full free training video on how to quit alcohol in 2025. I'm not sure how long it's going to be free for, but it's here now. Link is in description, so check it out. So let's get into it. Contestant number 1. All right, mate, you may not remember me, lol. I've been seeing your posts about drink, and I was hoping maybe you could give me some tips to help me stop drinking so much. In brackets, between me and you, bud. I get this a lot. Now, the first thing I want to point out about this statement is that how you view quitting alcohol determines whether or not you are successful in quitting or not. If you see quitting alcohol as something as shameful or something that should be kept as a secret, then you are already setting yourself up for failure. Keeping your sobriety or need for help is subconsciously signaling to yourself that, number 1, what you're doing is wrong, and number 2, it's something that should be kept a secret because you're embarrassed about it. Think about it. When we feel shame about quitting alcohol, what are we really telling ourselves? How can we be bold about our decision to quit alcohol if we're embarrassed by it? How can you confidently say no to somebody when they offer you a drink? When I decided that I was done with drinking and doing drugs, by the way, newsflash, cocaine and alcohol goes hand in hand. So if you're telling me that you don't do cocaine or you've never done it, then you're lying. But anyway, I posted on Facebook along the lines of, that's it, no more drinking drugs, I'm done. I was bold about my decision. And look how that worked out for me. I am now approaching 5 years sober. I've built a business around quitting alcohol. I've built a YouTube channel around quitting alcohol. I've been able to leave my job because I quit alcohol. I live life on my own terms because I've quit alcohol. It was the best bold decision I've ever made in my life. Can you imagine if I thought to myself, oh no, this is embarrassing. What will people think if I ask for help? Can you imagine if I thought that and I didn't make that decision? I'm not the only one who agrees with this.
I can't believe the difference that I feel from not drinking.
Yeah.
I feel amazing.
That clip right there tells you all you need to know about how proud you should be about quitting alcohol. It's not only going to allow you to survive, it's going to allow you to thrive. You're going to walk taller, you're going to speak sharper, you're going to think faster, and you're going to look better. And the best thing about all this, as a result, people will treat you better. Next up is contestant X. He says, I'm at a point now where alcohol use is controlled, and that's a life I like. I've been a drug addict, couldn't control drinking, then sober, and now I'm in control of my drinking, and that is when I'm my happiest. Now, I'm not here to shit on anyone, okay? I am just being brutally honest because sometimes you need somebody who is not the friend that you want, but the friend that you need. The biggest point I'm taking away from this is he is trying to control drinking, and that is where most of you are going wrong. Stop holding on to the thought that you can control your drinking, especially if you once classed yourself as an addict or someone who has a problem. It doesn't work. How do I know? Because I tried this for over a decade. The only approach that I know that has successfully worked for me and others is just by stopping completely. This isn't optional. I promise you, maybe you'll stop for a month, maybe you'll stop for a year, maybe you'll stop for 5 years. But there will be a time when you go back to drinking just that one time and you undo all that hard work you have done. Trust me, guys, I've been arrested on a night out for having a fight and I got sent to prison. Alcohol is no joke. I still have to remind myself that I'm not safe, even after 5 years of not drinking. That's why I don't entertain the thought of just having one drink. He then goes on to say, I like to do it socially and be able to walk away after a couple of beers or a couple of wines on a date or with a dinner and go home and then wake up the next day fresh. So much to unpack here. Society has brainwashed us to think that we need to go out and have a couple of beers or a couple of wines to be able to socialise. How will we ever go on that date or go and approach that girl if we haven't got a drink in us? I disproved this, by the way. I went out at the start of this year and I talked to 3 girls every day. I even interviewed a few about alcohol on the beach. I did this sober just to prove that someone who used to be dependent on alcohol to socialise could go and approach strangers sober. Socialising sober is a skill, and it's one of the best skills you can have. It doesn't matter if it's 6 a.m, 1 p.m, or 10 p.m. You won't need to rely on alcohol to be able to strike up a conversation with someone. By the way, guys, if you have any questions, alcohol related, or any videos that you want me to do, drop a comment below and I'll do my best to answer. And maybe if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and I'll do more. Next point I want to touch on. He says if he goes out and has a couple of wines or a couple of beers, that he'll wake up the next day fresh. It's been scientifically proven that just one drink will disrupt your sleep.
You wear a Whoop strap, it'll show you how much you recovered through the night.
Right, yeah.
And if you drink, you will notice a big dip if you have one cocktail.
Mm-hmm.
One cocktail will be a big dip in the amount of recovery you have.
Right.
And you won't even notice it.
The thing is with this guy, and I'm not trying to be nasty, he doesn't know what it's like to feel 100% on top of your game. A lot of you guys don't understand what it's like to be healthy and running at 100%. How can you? You're stuck in a cycle of destruction. You feel guilt and you feel shame. You're at a low vibrational frequency. To top it off, you don't have what you want in life and you feel trapped. Alcohol destroys your sleep and stops you building muscle. And the worst thing of all, it prevents you from being able to think clearly. Next up, we have the $1 million question. Are you ready for this? How do I quit? He goes on to say, how do I quit, man? I send him a voice note. Quitting drinking and going out, especially working in construction with new clients. Just effing bored of the same, to be honest. I can't have a couple, I just get wasted. I enjoy the social side of it. I guess one day I will stop when I settle down with a family. The first thing I always ask people is, why do you want to quit? What is the reason? If you can find a good enough reason, you will do anything in your power to stop. I've spoken before about how I woke up at the age of 30 and I felt like my life was slipping through my fingers and that I could and would end up a loser if I didn't stop drinking. This was a scary thought and it scared me sober. In the beginning, when cravings and temptations are strong, it is so important that we have a reason for not drinking. If our life outside our working life revolves around drinking, then when we remove alcohol from our lives, what is going to stop us caving in to temptation when we're sat on the sofa Saturday night when we'd usually be out drinking? If you've got nothing planned for the next day, why would it matter if you woke up hungover? Get honest and deep about the real reason why you want to quit drinking. The next big point in this message is, he says that he'll stop drinking when he settles down with a family. Let me ask you this, if drinking is a problem, what makes you think that someone would actually want to settle down and have a family with you? It might sound harsh, but it's the truth. What makes you be able to think that you can stop then if you can't stop now? You have to be able to do it for yourself first, because you are going to be with you for 100% of your life. What happens if the people that you stop for leave? This seems to be a common theme when it comes to drinking alcohol, that we need to have a drink to socialise, especially working in construction with new clients. The pattern I see is that people think they need to be able to have a drink to socialise. When in reality, I bet if you stop drinking for long enough, A, you wouldn't give a fuck about socializing with new clients from work. You're going to let these people that you hardly know coax you into drinking and just throwing away your dreams. And B, you'll soon realize that the things that you did drinking and the people you did them with, you don't actually enjoy sober anyway. We always know that we're not going to be able to stop drinking at just one drink. So why bother trying to control it? Even if you do, it just takes so much mental energy negotiating with yourself. You could be freeing up this mental capacity to go out and build an exciting life for yourself. If you're fed up with drinking, guys, and you want to stop, check out my training video in the link below. But I always say this one thing: no craving, no problem. And I have a full video on how to stop them instantly here. I thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.